This is for China. Y'all are advertising your area hard, and I don't think you're meaning to, but you have some American citizens who are posting information about your cities, and they are so clean. Now, I know that there's probably some dictatorship type vibes to have it that perfect, but seriously.
I came across this creator on my For You page on TikTok and find her amazing because she asked questions. She's seeking for clarification, and you can tell as you go on, you can tell that she's genuinely seeking for clarification because she might be looking into ways to move to China there from what I've seen. So we are going to be answering some of the questions that she got from the research I made on TikTok, but also provide answers, clarification, anything that will help. Kindly drop in the comment section. So like the video for recommendation, and let's dive into this.
And this is downtown Hangzhou. So honestly, they have cleaning people who clean the streets, and there's like cars that go down the street to clean them, just like we have street cleaners in the United States. But a lot of it's the culture, is like people take good care of the public spaces. So Chinese people are pretty relaxed, generally speaking. And I mean, you can just tell. And guys, I'm not trying to cherry pick either. So I'm going to run up here and then do a pan to the main street, and you can see exactly how clean it is. I was getting ready to jump on the subway when I replied to this video. Yeah, just take a look. So let me put my phone over this hedge line, and I have no idea what's on the other side, and here you go. Yeah, do you see how clean and pothole free the street is? So again, when I first traveled to China back in 2017, this was not my expectation. I thought it was going to be dirty, poor. I thought people were going to be a lot more rude, and just generally it was the exact opposite of what I was expecting. So that's why I've been so shocked. And in a lot of these videos, I just shoot with my iPhone and show you guys what China's really like. So this is about an hour away. I was down here to meet someone, and this area is about an hour away from my house.
Those old people were dancing in the street on a Wednesday night. Like, what is that? I don't even know where that would happen other than like a VFW here, and we're not all invited. And it's beautiful.
So there's this phenomenon that happens in parks in China that's really, really cute. It's one of my favorite things to see. It happens during the day, at night, particularly on like a Saturday night. It's really big. And a bunch of old people will get together and come to these parks and basically just dance in public. They dance to all sorts of different types of music. It can be Indian or Chinese or American, anything really. And even some guys just like dance by themselves right there. He's just like enjoying his day. He's got a Starbucks, 2:30 in the afternoon, the middle of a park. Nobody gives a fuck. It's super cute. And this is actually quite common for old people in China. They have a really good pension set up, and a lot of them really just like hang out and enjoy their lives. And something like this is a perfect example of that. And they don't care at all about being self-conscious. They'll just go out and celebrate and dance. And I always love when I walk by the park and see it. It's really, really cute.
Do you know that in China, for as little as $50 per year, you can attend a university for seniors? Right. Here, retirement life is next level. Picture 70-year-olds literally rushing to make their 8 a.m. class. What's on the timetable? Everything. Morning class could be smartphone survival 101. No boring theory, just real life hacks. How do I video call my grandkids? Where is the like button? How do I order train tickets on my phone? Then photography, Mongolian dance, linear fashion modeling, traditional Chinese opera. Seriously, all kinds of classes. Teachers, super patient Generation Zers. Students, zero snoozing here. Ask questions, they take notes, they're all in. No pressure to graduate. It's purely for fun, friendship, and flexing new skills. Think retirement means slowing down? No, for millions in China, it's a vibrant new chapter screaming, grab your notebook, class begins. The cost? Seriously, just $50 to $700 a year? That buys you community, new skills, purpose, and pure joy. How is it so affordable? Cause it's heavily subsidized by local governments and communities. Honestly, sign me up when I retire. Suddenly, I'm kinda looking forward to my 60s now.
Today is day 1 of training calisthenics in China. Today I'm in Shanghai and I found a local park with lots of Chinese grandpas. Time to train some calisthenics with them.
Oh, 这好吃哇！
So I'm 25, one of them's 71. and the other one's 87.
There are trees. Like, your mall looks like a castle.
Today, I visited my favorite mall from my childhood. It's also one of the craziest and biggest mall in China. First, we went to this interactive exhibition of Asian Nanjing, where you can create a character and interact with the storyline of the exhibition. The mall is super famous for its bathrooms. So we visited some of the bathrooms. It's got different themes and crazy decoration. They're like tropical themed, Japanese garden themed, disco themed. It's super crazy.
Is China living in the future? The simple answer is yes, but the real answer is why. So right now I'm in the Chinese mall. You see beautiful skyscrapers, everything nice and good, looks futuristic, cool, but that's not why China is living in the future. The reason why China is living in the future, I'm going to show you right now. You keep walking, you see little pets signs, right? You keep walking, you're in a mall, and then you arrive at something like this. And now you see strollers, one after the other. But the thing is, these strollers are not for kids. These strollers are for your pet. So, you see, 10 kilograms too much. We want these little babies. You scan a QR code, you open up your stroller, and you put your pet in the stroller and you walk inside of the mall. That's how things are done in China. And that is why I think it's futuristic. Look at this dedicated banner. What do you think about it?
I want to be a pet.
And y'all are getting me. So this is what I need. I need some people who live in like suburban China, because I don't think I make the coin necessary to live where you guys are talking about. I mean, maybe I would, because I just saw a video of a guy who went to the doctor and got like an MRI and a CAT scan and an X-ray and like all these crazy things for like $100.
That boy said he went to China, got an MRI, X-ray, and blood work for $80. $80 for an MRI, blood work, and X-ray. You know how much that shit would have cost in the United States? Do you know how much that shit would have cost in the United States? Well over 15 grand. Well over 15. It can cost up to $12,000 for an MRI alone in the United States. X-rays, on a good day, $100. Blood work, a few hundred. The medicine that I'm on, the medication that I'm on, over there, I could get like 10 months worth for $170. $170. You know how much it costs in the United States? $1,100. If you never felt like the United States was duping you, you should now. Because they are very heavily taking advantage of the American citizens.
Hey friends, today I would love to share with you my recent experience of seeing a doctor in Beijing, China. A few days ago, I caught a pretty bad cold. My body temperature shot up to over 102 degrees. Every time I swallowed, I felt like there was a blade sliding down my throat. On top of that, I had diarrhea, which was definitely not fun. I went to Chaoyang Hospital, which is considered one of the best public hospitals in Beijing. It was close to midnight when I got to the emergency department. The registration fee was around $9.80. 10 minutes after paying, I was able to see the doctor, who was incredibly patient and asked a lot of detailed questions about my symptoms, how they developed, and so on. Then she ordered a blood test, a COVID test, and a flu A test, which cost $17 in total. My blood test results came back in 15 minutes, Based on the results, the doctor prescribed me a few medications. This one is for treating diarrhea by restoring and maintaining the balance of intestinal microflora. It costs $6.40. This is the traditional Chinese medicine for my flu symptoms. It cost $14.90. From start to finish, my entire ER visit took less than 1 hour. The doctor and the nurses were incredibly professional, and all the costs combined were around $48.10. I have private health insurance that covers the entire amount, but even without it, the public plan would cover 70%, meaning that you would only have to pay around $14.40 out of pocket. Of course, no healthcare system is perfect, but I do think China's system is one of the most efficient ones, and my experience has been 100% positive. Feel free to drop your comment if you have any question about seeing a doctor in China.
So maybe I would have enough money. I don't know. Where would I live? Is it like only in the cities, or is it like outside the cities? Because if I'm willing to downgrade a little bit, because that would be such an upgrade. And you guys have health care.
If you understand how the United States works, you can easily tell what she's referring to by speaking of suburb, living in the suburb to enjoy such a life. But you could also be wondering, why is that Americans are always surprised that people out there could be living the best life, better, even far much better than they live in their country? And I couldn't find a better example than someone who had once believed that America was the world, but once he traveled and opened up to the world and realized that there are better opportunities, there are better things out there, out of their sight, that they couldn't open up to.
If you're interested in living in another country, save and share this video. So as an American that lives in China, it's been fascinating to be back in the United States and talk to people about living abroad. And the number one thing that I've noticed is that it is genuinely so hard for people to think about actually moving to another country. First thing you have to do is believe that it is possible to live in another country. As Americans, it's a really hard concept. When you grow up believing that America is the best country in the world, why would you even consider moving somewhere else? There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Americans that live in other countries that have gone through this process, and every single one of them will probably agree with me that the first thing you have to do is believe that it is possible. You will figure out your own individual path, especially if you are an American, you have a US passport, you get paid in US dollars, you are miles ahead of much of the rest of the world. And talk to people that have lived in other countries, watch content like mine of people who have done it and are sharing their own experience. Just help your brain adjust this assumption that America is the only option of where to live. It's so hard to really imagine you doing it until you've done it. And then you do it and you're like, why didn't I do this sooner? First step, and the thing that I hear so many people say to me is like, I could never do that. Yes, you can. Why not? Go figure it out. Let's figure it out together. Follow for more.